This is a life-sized model of the bolt-up mechanism. And for example, this is the break between two tubes. This represents the upper tube that you see up there, and this represents the lower tube that's down here. Now the break between has a sleeve, and this is a 1-inch diameter rod that's to stick out of the top of the tubes. It'll stick out of the bottom of the tubes down here, and then it has a 1-inch nut that make it work. Now I'm going to turn it on its side and take it apart and show it to you in detail. I'm going to take off the nut that's either at the top or the bottom of the bolt-up threaded rod. Now this is the 1-inch nut of the whole mechanism. This is a very important part, because in the end, when you crank it on one end and crank it on the other end, you get up to about 20,000 pounds of torque on each end of the rod, and that will compress these buildings together. So it's really a compression fold-up mechanism. This is the cap. The cap goes on the top of the tube, or it goes on the bottom of the tube. And then of course when you're cranking the building together, it's the cap that actually takes the pressure from the nut as it's cranking. Then I'm getting one of the tubes out of the way. But this is the most important part of the whole system. This has its own individual patent number. This is the bolt-up sleeve. Now there's one of these at the joint on both halves of those tubes. And the sleeve can go in either in this direction or it can go in this direction, depending on how we want to adjust the building on site. If it's a horizontal bolt-up mechanism, we can either have it like this, which will help the crane bring the next module down to the lower module, or we can have it this way so that they can adjust one module to the other laterally. I'm taking the nut off. I'm going to pull the rod out. And as you can see, we have two different lengths of rod. On this particular building, we have a 11-foot 7-inch high module, lower module, and a 4-foot 7-inch high upper module. So we'll have two different size rods pulling the two buildings together.